Today we learned how to write an equation for a line that goes through 2 points. But we didn't do it with a graph. We didn't do it with a table. Today we used algebra to do it. So I broke it down into basically 4 steps. Step 1. The first thing I want you to do is label the coordinates. For example, the 2 points we're working with today is 1, 2 and 3, 8. So what I want you to do is label the x and y. Now since there's 2 coordinates, we're going to label this x, x1, and this y, y1. And we're going to label this x, x2, and this y, y2. And these are called subscripts. They're not exponents. They're little numbers that go kind of near the bottom of your variable to differentiate the 2 x's. So this is the first x, this is the second x. This is the first y, that's the second y. So that's step 1. Label. Pretty easy, right? Step 2. Now you're going to find the slope. Now finding the slope using 2 coordinates is not that much different than finding the slope off of a table. Remember, slope is rise over run. Now on a table, we learned that the rise is the change in the y's, like how much the y is increasing or decreasing. So to do that, what you do is you take your y values and subtract them. We'll start with our y2 and we'll subtract y1. And that will be the change in the y, which gets me the rise. Similarly, for the runs, subtract your 2 x coordinates, x2 minus x1. So in our example, we have for y2, we have 8, and y1, we have 2. For x2, we have 3, and for x1, we have 1. So when I simplify this, I get 6 over 2, which is just 3. That is my slope. Step 4. Once we know the slope, now we need to find the y-intercept. Now, to find the y-intercept, we are going to base everything off our standard equation for a line, which is y equals b plus mx. And since we know several of these values, we can plug them in and we can figure out our y-intercept. Now don't forget the b in your y equals b plus mx, that's your y-intercept. The m is the slope. And in this case, we know the slope. The slope is 3. I'm going to write that right here. The x and y, we can use one of our coordinates, x and y's, into our equation. And it doesn't matter which one you want. You choose. You could choose whichever one you want. We could do 1 and 2 or 3 and 8. Let's do 3 and 8 since it's a little more interesting. So I'm going to take the y coordinate from here, which is the 8, put it here. I'll take the x coordinate from here, put it here. And now I'm just going to solve this and figure out what it equals. So let's see. This is 8 equals b plus 9. Minus 9 from both sides. B equals negative 1. That's my y-intercept, negative 1. So step 4. Now that I know my slope, now that I know my y-intercept, step 4 is write the equation. And it's not going to be very hard now because I got all the hard work done. My equation is going to be y equals my y-intercept, negative 1, plus my slope of 3, and then x next to it. And if you want to do a double check, which isn't that hard, all you have to do is take the other coordinate that you didn't use from number 3, this one right here, plug that in here and see if it works. So x is 1, 3 times 1 is 3, plus negative 1 is 2. And look at the y-coordinate there, it's 2. Checks out. That is how you write an equation for a line given just 2 points.